Hey y'all, it's Dark Sugar Podcast coming to you fresh out the packet with everything black. Dark Sugar.
Hey y'all, it is Dark Sugar Podcast and your girl Kiana. I am so excited right now because we have a creative collaboration with my friend Monique, aka Scalding Black Tea, that's Black BLK, on Instagram and TikTok. And I'm excited because she is here to promote Hot Girl Summer, which is, we were trying to figure out how to categorize this. I would put it as a digital book. That's the vibe I'm going with. And the first chapter, Hot Girls and Hellcats, dropped, that was last week, right? And I read it and I was telling her I was upset because I could not read more of it and I have to wait, but not too long because in 2 days, the next chapter, Nuts and Sluts, is going to come out, which I'm really excited for. But I thought this first chapter was alluring, mysterious, raw, unapologetic. It was sexy, girl. I really enjoyed it, and so I'm so excited to have her on. And this is the third time I've met Monique in person, but I met her twice before. And I just have to give you some flowers right now because honestly, 2023, it girl. In my head. No, seriously. No. No, for real. Like I'm obsessed with your vibe and just everything about you. No, like seriously. And I really find this raw energy that I feel like as Black people, we're coming back to, but for the longest time we moved away from because we didn't want to be judged or too loud. Are we too this? Are we taking up too much space? Monique doesn't give a fuck about any of that. And so that's really why I admire you so much. So we're here to talk about Hot Girls and Hellcats. That's the chapter. Yes. I got it right this time. Okay, that is the chapter. And we're going to dive into her inspiration behind this whole anthology series, which is Scalding Summer Stories. Love that title. And so we're going to dive into the inspiration, how mental health connects with this. And then at the end of the episode, we'll have Monique read some of the new chapter that's dropping in 2 days. And so my first question here is, what is Hot Girl Summer about, and what inspired you to write this, especially in our climate now?
Yes. Okay. So first of all, thank you. That is like just so sweet of you to say. I'm just over here smiling. Like, that's all I want to do now. I love that. Thank you. And thank you for reading, and thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it because I do want to tell everybody about this project. I have been a writer for most of my life, so that's just something that's a part of me. I've done poetry. I do short stories like this. I've written, screenplays, music videos, all kinds of things just for fun. And that's what this is, just for fun. Like, I don't know, life has been seeming hard, sad, everything's expensive, everyone's angry all the time, like nothing's just fun. So I'm like, let me just put something out that is fun, really, and like reminiscent of my own life. I mean, I feel like, I don't know if you're familiar with Issa Rae and Insecure, but she did an interview saying kind of like I don't know if she said that she regrets naming her character after her because it's just a character, she's like, I'm Issa, but I'm not Issa and Insecure, So I'm like, yeah, I'm Monique, but I'm not saying I'm necessarily Monique in Hot Girl Summer. Like, I do all of this, like it's definitely, just, like an exciting spin on my own life. I was thinking about the times that I used to have fun, be out, turning up with my girls, just doing crazy shit. And I'm like, okay, write about it, but write about it and have fun with it and tell other people about it. So that's pretty much how we got here.
Nice. No, I love it. And I had to remember that, like, as you were saying, like, this is not based on me. I'm like, it's not. But I really liked how you took your own experiences and put a spin on them. And I find that could be a way of processing for some people. And so my next question is, how have you used writing as maybe a coping skill in your toolbox of taking care of your mental health? And did writing this chapter specifically help with that?
Yeah, it definitely did. What I needed to cope with is the fact that life is just not how it used to be for me. Like I used to fly for free just because, hookups with my family. So I'd be here, I'd be there. I would just be doing all kinds of crazy shit. And I used to live in Georgia.
I didn't know that.
I did. I used to live in Georgia, not Atlanta, but I was in Atlanta a lot. And, I met men in Atlanta and they live a fast, fun, crazy life. And I'm like, damn, I live in Phoenix right now. There is not that many black men out here. And the ones out here, I'm sorry, they're kind of square. And they just don't be doing it like they did. So I'm like, let's pretend. Let's pretend. That's where Hot Girls and Hellcats came from. I'm like, let's pretend I'm still there and let's pretend it's me today, because I'm 29 now. So I'm like, some of these things that I was doing was when I was younger and I wasn't as smart as I am now. So I'm like, let's just do it. Let's put a spin on it, So that's kind of what made me start writing it. And then, I don't know, just talking to my friends about it, like, just helped expand to the other chapters.
Nice. No, I dig that. And I didn't know you lived in Georgia.
Yeah.
Like, what? That sounds fun as hell. Damn. Okay, so that ties into my next thing about the controversial topics that we have in the whole Hot Girl Summer book, but also just beginning in Hot Girls and Hellcats. I was like, this bitch is wild. I was like, what? And I was really thinking about that character, and she was doing all these things. It's like I wanted to do them, but then at the same time I could feel this pull from society that was like, oh no, oh, she a hoe, no, oh, if you do that, then that means this. And then I just love how it ended. Like, it was just an all-encompassing, like, freedom. Hey daddy, here it is, let's do this. I'm trying not to tell the whole thing, but I know I love that. And so it was very pro-ho, pro-sex, women empowerment. And then also, and you have this vibe, like, dark feminine era. Is that okay? Can I give you that?
Yes.
Can I give you that? Because I was feeling that. I was feeling that through it. So I want to know if any of those social hot topics right now that we'll always be facing, but they come up, people are slowly getting it together. But pro-ho, pro-sex, women empowerment, what else? What else was in the back of your mind when you were writing this part?
Yeah, definitely the pro-ho. And just having fun, honestly. Like, what's so crazy is if like a man wrote this story from his perspective, as like I was actually just talking to my friend Kenzie about this yesterday. Like, I swear to God, men today want us to, like, pick them up, like, slap them on their ass and be like, hey daddy, like, I like those shorts you got on, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they want, and I feel like they're jealous that that's what happens to women. So, that's the only reason they're going to bash me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, nobody is going to see you at a gas station, fill your tank up and buy you some snacks because you're a man. I mean, I'm sorry. But, I've literally been on a date with a man and I had to explain this to him because he's like, it was a whole thing that he got an attitude because he was paying for the date. And I'm like, okay, do you want to pay for dates in society and be the respected gender, be the practical gender, the logical gender, the gender that's always in charge? Do you want all of that, or do you want to be taken out and people to buy you food? Is that what you want? Really? Like, if that's it, like, let me know. I'm not going to be the one to do it for you, but let me know so I can leave, because it's just, yeah. So I'm like, I feel like that's what they want and they can't have it, which I didn't make the rules. I'm just out here trying to survive, trying to live, trying to, keep my sanity. And if I do see a fine man and he's bold enough to approach me, which a lot of men, again, in Arizona are not. So that's another thing I wanted to add into my story. My pretend story. Finally, a man is not scared to, like, look at you and then be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to her. So yeah, there's that. And also, like, the like, just not abiding to respectability politics, because my character was acting a little ratchet. She's acting a little ratchet, you know, and it's just like, that doesn't make her a bad person. That's okay. Like, that does not make her a bad person. Like, people think that, okay, if you act like this, you deserve bad things to happen to you. But that's really not the case. It's really not. So, I don't know. I think people will read it at, you know, they're having fun, but in the back of their head, you know, they can be like, okay, you know, if I want to do a little bit something crazy this weekend, it's not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to be the end of the world.
I like that. No, I really like that. And I felt like I was reflecting with myself. I always say, I was like hesitating if I should say that. I'm just going to say this. I've always felt a little sexually deprived.
Okay.
And I can feel it like coming out in my intimate relationships. And I'm just like, like, do I just need to like pop off and just like go for it? And I felt like it was a little maybe manipulative in my past relationships where they just like really withhold intimacy. And so when I did read that, I was kind of, I don't know, I was kind of inspired. Okay. I was just a little bit. I was like, I need to get more comfortable with this. Yeah. Because, yeah, and I'm seeing so many, even including you, Vincenzi, I'm just like, oh, this is so, the empowerment just really hits. And I'm just like, I need to just embrace femininity more. Yeah. And that control, because Monique be laying niggas out. Like, I swear, I'm just like, whoa, she's castrating them out here. Like, that's exactly what I'm doing. And it's the coolest, most empowering thing. Yeah, no, seriously. And that's why I'm honored to be talking to you now, because I'm just like, and this has been I've been seeing it's the trend lately for women to be like, oh, you got to do men like this and do men like that. And I'm like, Monique already knows how to do that. Like, I'm like, Monique doesn't. I was like, okay. So it's like I don't know. I feel like you're ahead of the game, because it's not like you didn't watch these videos.
I mean, honestly, what's so funny is, I mean, like right now I am watching the videos, and sometimes I'm like, you know what? But it'll be like something like, okay, the stuff that they're telling, like, that's how you have to talk. Like, yeah. I'm like, this is what you do. Like, what do you mean? Like, you know, because I don't know, as a woman, as a black woman, as a dark-skinned black woman, people don't give a fuck how I feel. If I'm safe, they don't give a fuck. So I'm like, okay, that's fine, but so I'll have my own back. Mm-hmm. I'm not about to waste time feeling uncomfortable unnecessarily. Mm-hmm. And men really feel like it's okay to invade your space if you dress a certain way, act a certain way. Did you see what happened with Suki?
Oh yes, he posted that guy just was, I didn't see the whole clip, but I saw your TikTok about it, and he just so inappropriate. Yeah. I was like, whoa. Yeah, so because she, you know, and the thing is, I don't even know anything about her. I don't even listen to her music. I just saw the clip and I'm like, this is inappropriate. Like, she was on a podcast, and I, at this moment, cannot remember exactly all the things that he was saying. He's like, oh, I know your pussy's good, or just something. And it's like, sir, okay, yes, I'm sexy, but have some fucking decorum. Act like you were raised in a home and not a back alley. Like, that's not, you can't talk to people like that. So and I'm not faulting her for responding how she did, but I would have cussed him the fuck out. Like, he would have felt embarrassed after that. And he would have thought the next time he said something crazy to a woman or showed a woman his penis on a podcast, I would have laughed if he would have showed me. I would have laughed. I didn't know he did that. Yeah, he showed her a picture of his penis while they're on air. I would have laughed and told him to get that shit out of my face. I would have taken his phone and dropped it on the floor. Like, I really do not. And I'm saying this because I've been in situations where I've done something like that. Like, again, this is why I wrote Hot Girl Summer, so I can relive how I used to be having fun, because I really am not going out as much as I used to right now. So, like, last year I was going out a lot by myself. I like to go out by myself. It's like, I feel like I should be able to do that, even though, you know, it's quote-unquote dangerous. I should still be able to do that. And, yeah, you do have to tell men, like, I'm not interested in talking to you. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't just be, you know, like, oh, well, haha. Like, no, like, flat out, I'm not interested in this conversation. That shit, they will be like, well, like, right. And I'm like, I'm not interested. I didn't come here to talk to you. Mm-hmm.
especially if you're not even gonna buy me like literally when I say the bare minimum, like bar on the fucking ground, bar in hell, is if you want to come approach me in public where I'm by myself, content, buying my own drinks, why would you not offer to buy me a drink, bro? Are you crazy? They're crazy, so you have to talk to them like they're crazy.
Talk to them like they're crazy. No, I love it. And I've been taking notes on that too, just being more like, no, I don't care. Like, I don't have to just sit there and take something in and then be resentful, like, oh, he ruined my night. No, girl, like, you sat there.
Yeah, that's how you... Yeah, because it's not like the bartender or anybody is going to defend you, you know? Like, people just... Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, no, stand up for ourselves, speak up, use our voice, which I felt like I can see that being a theme in some of these stories. I don't know, I haven't read the next chapters, but that just hit me as maybe a theme. I don't know.
You're good.
Am I getting it?
Yeah. I actually...
She can't spill it.
It's like I kind of do, I kind of don't. You're getting the exclusive right here because I've just been like hinting at, and side note, it is like hard to promote a project like this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for example, I'm gonna post this, you know, on my page. Hopefully the marketing mommy is listening. Listen up, girl. I need your help and I can't afford it. Okay. She's really good. So I'm like, I want her to help me market my book because I think that it's so fun. Like, chapter 2, it's Nuts and Sluts. And I've been joking, like, you're never going to guess who helped me come up with the name for that chapter. It's my grandmother.
Your mom, your grandma.
My grandmother, my Gammy. Yeah, because she's always, if I go over there, she's always watching, like, those judge shows, like, Divorce Court and everything. She calls it Nuts and Sluts. And, yeah, like, that's what, yeah, she's like, we're watching the Nuts and the Sluts. And so, since she gave me the idea for the chapter, I'm like, let me do something that is kind of, like, representative of her. And what's funny is chapter 2 is the most mild chapter that I have because, you know, it's my grandmother, but I let her read it today. So first thing she says is, what's RBF? Because I put that in there and I'm like, okay, it's resting bitch face. And then, like, you know, I left and came back and, like, you know, my name's Monique, but my family calls me Momo. And she's like, Momo. And I was like, what's up? She's like, you definitely have a wild imagination. Because for the mildest chapter. It was mild. There's nothing crazy in it. Like, there's nothing crazy. They didn't do anything for real.
We'll see.
But but the setting is the American Legion, which is where
Lord, that's
yeah, I'm like, you know where they hang out. So yeah, it's about. And what's so funny, it is the most mild chapter. Well, let me not say this. Yeah, I'll say, well, as of now, what I can remember in my head, it is one of the most, like, on-point chapters for things that have, like, actually happened. Oh. But me taking it to, like, a extreme level afterwards, you know? So it's just, like, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun.
Oh, I'm excited. No, I'm excited. And the next thing that shocked me, well, not, like, shocked, I was, like, made my soul, like, very tender when you sent me this Brene Brown quote as, like, to expand on. I was like, oh my God, are you, like, super familiar with Brene Brown?
No, I'm not at all. I was trying to familiarize myself with your podcast because I hadn't listened to it before. I was like, let me get on here. I saw Kenzie. I was like, you were I'm like, okay, this is definitely. Yeah, sign me up. Like, when are we going to do this? And I saw the quote and I'm like, yeah, this works. Now, at the top of my head, I can't remember which one it is.
So it's when we deny the story, it defines us. Wait, what? When we deny the story, it defines us. When we own the story, we can write a brave new ending.
Yeah. So
I was wondering how you're tying that. It's such a good quote. I think it's super empowering, gives, like, rebirth vibes.
Yeah, so the quote is, when we deny the story, it defines us. So as we've discussed, Hot Girl Summer is very, like, sexual, you know? And even me, like, I'm not perfect. Like, there's times, like, I've done something, I'm like, okay, now why did I do that? Like, I let how society looks at certain things, like, define how I feel about it, you know? And I'm like, that's not valid, you know? So I'm like, one of the things I use as a coping mechanism, consciously and unconsciously, like, there's things that I didn't even try to forget, and my mind just, like, completely buried it, and it's like... Because, I mean, and not even things that are necessarily traumatic, like things that just fucking suck. Like, I've, like, movies that I hated, like, I completely forgot I saw it because I'm like, that shit sucked. And I'm like, it's gone. I forgot about it. But I'm like, oh, yeah. I mean, I do smoke a lot of weed. So I'm like, that also plays a factor, but whatever. So, when I read that, I'm like, okay, so when we deny the story, I'm like, that's like me denying the things that I've done, the things that I've said, you know, and that is so true. It lets you define yourself because you feel bad about it. You're consumed in guilt when really you could own the story and write a brave new ending. So that's exactly what I did with some of these stories in here. It's far down the line. I want to say it's like chapter 6 is Hooping and Hollering. That's one of the main ones. Yeah, I can't wait for chapter 6. Whew, like, oh God, yeah. Anyways, so that's just like one of the chapters. I'm like, okay, in my mind, if I deny what happened, like, you know, shut it off, then I let that define me. Mm-hmm. But I'm writing a brave new ending for it, and that's what it is.
No, I love that. I really love that. I've been practicing that myself. It's like, tell yourself a new story. I've been seeing that quote a lot. Yeah. Like, you don't have to, like, you can create your own new story about whatever situation, whatever thing that's, yeah, like you said, traumatic, not traumatic, just something that you don't like and that you keep reliving in your head.
Exactly. Oh my.
Yep.
Bro, like, and okay, I was telling you, I have OCD. And I have ADHD, so combined, that equals anxiety. It's not too much fun. But the OCD, it's like the, for me at least, I don't like have like the OCD like Monk has where everything's super clean. I wish. I have the obsessive compulsive thoughts. And I will, like, if I do something, and that's why I'm so, I'm not religious at all, and I don't feel bad about that because I do think I have a strong enough moral compass to like live my life without it, because when I do things that are bad, I really do feel fucked up. Like, it's something that really is like it. I mean, whether it's healthy or not, like I think about it for a long time, especially if I wasn't able to make it right. And even though this is something that is so small and it happened so long ago, I think of every time someone's like, oh, you did something bad. I'm like, yeah, no, I did, like back in first grade. It's
not
first grade, girl, I'm gonna tell you. And maybe after I told someone recently and they did make me feel bad about it, I'm like, damn. Okay, so I'm gonna tell all your viewers, and hopefully I don't get hate comments. Okay, so this is what happened. First grade, we're eating candy, or we get candy, and I'm given Whoppers, and I hate that candy. They are disgusting. The mall, like I can't even think about eating that shit right now. It is so fucking nasty. But I didn't know that because I'm in first grade. This is like the first time I'm having Whoppers. I'm like, oh, this shit is nasty. I could tell even when I can taste it to this day. I can taste a Whopper. Okay, so it was in my mouth, and I was like, yeah, fuck this shit. I put it back in the bag. Okay, so this boy, his name was Jacob. I'm not going to say his last name because it's a very unique last name. And then everyone's going to find him. They're going to find me. They're going to find my house, and they're going to burn it down. Anyways, he asked for the candy, and I gave it to him, even though the candy that had been in my mouth was in there. But I didn't want to just, like, say no to Jacob to, not give him the candy, because that would be rude. How am I going to explain, like, bro? Because it's like, we were in like story time, so we couldn't be like talking that much. So I was like, should I give him the candy or should I say no? I'm just going to give the boy the candy. And I gave the boy the candy. And the reason I feel so disgusting about it is because I'm a big germaphobe. I do not eat after people. I do not drink after people. I won't drink after my own mom. I don't play around. Like, I think that's so gross. So the fact that I did that, I'm so sorry, Jacob. I'm glad I was able to get that off my chest.
Yeah, me too. Also, that was so not that bad.
It's just so nasty.
It kind of is, but it feels
like those people who lick ice cream in the grocery store. Like, that's disgusting.
No, it's not. That is super gross. It feels very on par for first grade.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen kids do that.
I was in first grade.
Yeah, that sounds very like...
You're right.
Like someone coughs on something and then they're like, here, and you're just watching like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a very first grade. It's not that bad. It's not that. She feels so much better, you guys.
I really do, because I'm like, damn, that was fucked up. If someone did that to me, I'd be pissed.
No, yeah, same. People licking things and not restaurants not washing shit. Yeah, let's not
start.
Yeah. But okay, so back to mental health.
Yes.
Which we touched on earlier, but how has Hot Girl Summer helped you process anything? I know you said you were living fast life in Georgia. Not that anything like, you can touch on what you want to, but how did any experiences, some that you might want to share, just in general, of how it helped you process certain things?
Yes. Well, okay, like the first 2 chapters, not so much, because I mean, chapter 1, it's wild, it's cool, it's fun. There's like one thing that happened that like sparked that chapter in my head. And I'll tell you off. I'll tell you off, but like it just I don't know, it was so fun. I'm like, oh my God, like this is just so much fun. So it just helps me realize like, okay, right now I'm at a stagnant point in my life where I'm like not doing the exciting shit that I used to do. But I'm like, also, I mean, hopefully I'll be living a long time. So like 2-3 years of being boring out of hopefully like 90 years. I'll live like 93 years. I'll be fine with that. Yeah. So I'm like, out of that, it'll be fine. So just, taking this time to be creative. Like I wasn't actually... Yeah, I was also a lot younger back then, okay? I'm 29 now. I was... Kenzie was just making fun of me because I was like, oh, yeah, I had just gone out, like, the night before. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go out tonight. I'm like, 2 nights in a row? I'm like, the chances of me having fun 2 nights in a row going out? Unrealistic. Yeah. Unrealistic. And I'm like, God damn. The Hot Girl Summer Monique, like, she would just be, whatever. But I'm like, okay, well, that's great, but this girl needs her rest. I've been getting my sleep, and I'm like, yeah, I like this. So it's just, dealing with where you are in life right now. Like, it's gonna be okay, seriously.
Yeah. And no, that's good that you found a creative outlet in that way that can help you process. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of, no judgment, but even for myself, I was going to talk about other people. No, even for me, I'm trying to be more intentional with what I'm putting out. Okay, how is this helping me? What is this doing? What is it giving the people? Is my ego involved in this intention at all? So clear-cut creative process of just getting through things, reflecting on where you are now, where you've been, telling your story, flipping the script. She'll tell me later what that story is. Okay. And this is the question that was my favorite, because I was thinking in my head, I could answer this question, but it's your book, you're going to answer it. Okay. Is what do you want people to take from this? Because I told you earlier, I was inspired. It was juicy. So I was like, oh, this entertainment isn't getting me in trouble. I'm just sitting and reading something. Like, I can do this. But also it really sparked that feminine energy in me. And I was kind of just like, oh, like, this is my power. This is what I could do. And that's how I felt. But how do you want the people to feel after they read this?
Okay, that's a good question, because I am it's obviously, it's like overall a work of fiction. And that's how... I mean, I don't know. I feel like more people should get into that. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've like been out with a guy or something. He's been, trying to assert his intelligence over me and talking about how much he reads, and it's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the 48 Laws of Power. And I'm like, bro. I'm like, okay. Check, please. Like, I don't like that. Like, why can't you read something fun? Like, take yourself out of, like, this serious life for just a second. Mm-hmm. It will be okay. You can get back to your stocks in a second. They will be there, hopefully. I don't know how they fucking work, but I think they'll be there after you take 7 minutes to read just a fun, cute little chapter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very happy that it inspired you to get into your feminine energy. And you know, as I'm like putting out everything else, I'm gonna be thinking about that. But it really was just something fun that I wanted to write, and you know, just put it out there. Like literally just enjoy it. Like you don't even have to think too hard about it. Like literally just like read that shit, like it. What's funny is as the chapters go, I know it's like Scalding Black Tea is my newest Instagram page. Like I've had like 4. I've reinvented myself quite a few times. So I used to be the poet Mo. And I have another short story that I put out. It's called The Rat's Tail. I'm going to send that to you too. It has a few parts. So yeah, like people who know me from back then, if they somehow happen upon this, they're going to be like, now this bitch is talking about me. They're going to be like, is this me? Is this character? Like what? Like, cause you know, like some of these things have happened, but a lot of it really is just, you know, just made up. Like, yeah, okay, you acted like that, but so did all these other bitches I used to hang out with too. Like it's a compilation character. Don't trip, you know? So that would probably be the only thing, but yeah, I don't think people need to think too hard about it. Just literally just read it, be happy, and wait for like the visuals and all the other media that's coming out with it. Cause like that's the main thing. Like chapter 2 has a commercial that I'm working on. Chapter 3 is going to have like a cute little music video. Like they're like shit's happening. So
music
yeah.
by you?
No. Now actually, I did write a few lines to Lotto's Put It On The Floor remix, because she was begging for it, because she put the instrumental right there. Like people like, oh, why do people keep on doing all that was smart as fuck of whoever decided to do that. They had the remix with Cardi B and then they did the instrumental. So as soon as I'm listening, I'm like, okay, yeah, let me just, so I did actually start something, but I'm like, girl, maybe, I don't know, we'll see.
Like together, like your voice and the
no, just writing,
so
just writing, just writing. Because yeah, the Poet Mo, like, low key, like, I would have a flow, like I could rap, but not like that. Like I can't like match someone's flow. Like I could never do that. So, you have to make it yourself, make it your own. So it is something that I'm considering, maybe if I drink enough and write it, but that would be for chapter 3.
I'm so excited. No, I totally forgot. I remember reading that and you were like, there will be media visuals with it. And I was just like, whoa. Cause honestly, I was watching a video, or no, was it an article? It was something that was talking about the way some companies drop shoes now will be very like 1 week, 5 days, a couple hours. It'll be at a spot. There's only like 200 there and then they disappear. And that kind of just reminded me of the way you're laying out these chapters. It's so like, I've never been on a countdown with it. Even people's birthdays, I'm like, I don't care about your birthday. But these chapters, I'm like, okay, 2 days, okay, a couple hours. And it's really getting into that niche that I feel like not a lot of people are doing, but people are realizing how impactful it is just in our society when you have that much anticipation for things. So that made me really excited. And so now we want to hear an excerpt. We want to hear the story. And this is Nuts and Sluts, which doesn't drop for 2 days, y'all. So this will be a really good exclusive. I can't believe that was your grandma. And that makes sense, because when I think Nuts and Sluts, I'm like, ooh, dirty. But then when I hear your I'm like, oh, she's literally saying the nuts and the sluts. Yeah. I'm thinking like my mind, because when you said judge.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. I didn't think about that.
I thought that's why.
Oh my God.
That's
so funny.
That's what I was thinking.
I love that.
And I love that that's not what you were thinking.
That makes it even better. Oh my
right?
God. You just,
because
opened up a whole new world.
No, seriously, when you said your grandma, I was like, oh, this is a little different. No, so it's like a double entendre.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm feeling that. So now Monique is going to read as much as she wants. Yeah. Okay, y'all. So we have Monique. She's gonna read an excerpt of Nuts and Sluts, which is not exactly as it sounds. I'm realizing it's not as dirty as I thought. And y'all, I'm looking at this. It's way longer. She's feeding us. I'm digging it. Okay. Excerpt from Nuts and Sluts. Here we go.
Okay, I'm super excited. So this is chapter 2 of Hot Girl Summer, Nuts and Sluts. This is just a little excerpt of it. Alrighty. Is it nuts or is it sluts? I opened my eyes and I looked over at the 70-something old woman that had not been there a moment ago. She was elegant in everything I hoped to be in 40 years. The woman was embracing her gray in a stylish and age-appropriate updo and was wearing an outfit more fly than anything in most of my peers' closets. Not mine, though. She was wearing sunglasses inside at nighttime and a fur vest. It was 97 degrees outside. Immediately, I liked her. I was still taking her all in when she repeated her question through perfectly applied red lipstick. Is it nuts or sluts? I opened my mouth to reply when she answered for me. Must be both. She sipped her drink and shook her head. I was wondering when she even ordered that. I'm not sure I understand your question. Is what nuts or sluts? The woman looked at me and basically said, I looked like I was fighting demons, and the only explanation could be nuts or sluts. She said it was either a nut or a slut that was stressing me out, or a nut that was a slut. Vice versa, or both. She sipped her drink matter-of-factly, and I sat there for a moment. Fly Granny asked if I wanted a drink, and I said yes. I've been drinking tequila and pineapple. I asked you if you wanted a drink, not what you wanted to drink. She signaled over the bartender and ordered 2 Absolute and cranberries. I shrugged and kindly accepted the drink I was given. Fly Granny looked at me over her sunglasses. See, the bartender falls under the slut category. She has a very open mouth for all these dirty old men in here. Some are even married. I started to choke on my drink. The woman was not whispering, and I'm almost positive the bartender heard her. She was unfazed and continued on. Old Limpy that you were scared of earlier, the one I had to get rid of, he's a nut. He don't have the swag to be a slut. He's in here every week bothering some woman. What's the definition of insanity? Okay, then that's my point. As the vodka mixed with the reposado, she was starting to make a lot of sense, including why the man suddenly didn't want anything to do with me. I thought it was my RBF, but really she'd scared him away without my noticing. Nice.
Okay, she stopped reading. Rude. That was so rude. Oh my God. I like... What? This is so... Like... I'm like trying to go into my thesaurus mentally right now. It's not, I can't even give you a word. I'm just like so hooked in. And you don't hear conversations like that in a book that are just so, I don't know the word.
What's so funny is, even though, and I want everyone to know, what you see Fly Granny do in this book is not representative of my Gammy, okay? Character inspired by. This is the one character I'm willing to say, like, it's inspired by my Gammy, but for real, like, she don't be just, going home with old men at the bar. You know what I'm saying? So, but it like, my Gammy, like, she's very straightforward when she talks. Like, she be saying all kinds of shit, and I'm like, okay, we're saying it, and we're saying it out loud, and we're saying it to other people. Okay. And what's so funny is, yeah, she's an older woman, but she's fully cognitive. She's fully aware. She's fully here, but she still uses being old as an excuse for saying wild shit. And I'm like, all right, yeah, this lady in here is going to be saying some wild shit.
So did she like her character? Did she know that?
Literally, all she said was, I have a wild imagination. Tomorrow I'm going over there because tomorrow's Tuesday. So tomorrow's, Tuesday's the setting in Nuts and Sluts. It's when she's going to go to line dancing. So I'm going to go with her again tomorrow and, interview her to see how she feels.
Huh.
Yeah, because she was definitely, like, she was like, okay, girl. Like, she thought it was wild. And I'm like, this is the most tame chapter.
I love it. The conversation of who's in the... And that makes sense. When you were talking, I was like, oh, that would be a nut. That would be... I'm excited. Okay, so in 2 days, I'm trying to do mental... Today's the 26th.
Yes.
To the 28th.
Yes, at 7 p.m.
At 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Yes.
I'm excited, and this chapter's longer, y'all.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
Ooh. Oh, okay, yeah. It's way. I love it. I can sit a minute.
Yeah. I need to see, like, my last one on the website that I put it up on, Vocal. They said it's a 7-minute read, so I feel like this would be like an 11-minute read. Maybe.
Ooh, I love that. No, I can't wait. And like I said, I haven't. This wouldn't be erotica, would it be? Erotica?
Loki. Now, chapter 3 is a hard yes for that answer. Chapter 3 is filthy. Chapter 3 is disgusting. It's Cali boys and sex toys. It's nasty. It's dirty. It's filthy. So definitely yes for chapter 3. Chapter 2 is just, it's just a little taste of something. It's nothing crazy. It really is mild. Like, really nothing happens, but things happen.
I dig it. No, I'm so excited. And so next, I just want to plug where you are, what you're doing, what can we expect from you next. You touched on a couple things. I just want you to rub it down. Wow. See? Oh shit. Oh no. I feel so exposed right now. I want you to run it down for our listeners. Stop. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so for sure, every Wednesday, I will be putting out a new chapter. It's a 7-week series, so it's going until August 2nd. So you're going to get to see all of, the whole summer. Like, every Wednesday in July, you have something, and then up until August 2nd. So yeah, it's definitely going to be in written form for sure. I'm going to actually have to ask you how to upload my recordings, because I'll be doing audio versions as well for every chapter, because I know people like to listen to it too. So I'm like, okay, that works. And then also I'm going to pick a day, I don't know, I'll figure it out, and go live on TikTok and read it. So that's for sure. Those are just like the basics, what you can for sure expect for every chapter. If I get like lazy and, don't want to do anything, if anything else, that's what you'll get. But I do want like these to be like, I want to act out these chapters. Like, I want to make a Hot Girl Summer movie or TV series or something. And speaking of, again, I hope everyone listens to this, because I already know who I'm casting as Arms for chapter 1. I already know, and I'm not going to say too much on my man. I'm going to keep it real, because I don't want all of a sudden all these whores are going to go to his page and be like, oh my God, this is the sexiest man in America. And I just need everyone to back off until I can, I'm going to tell you who it is. I love him. And yeah, he's very experienced with playing football players. So yeah, I think he'll be Arms in chapter 1. But yeah, I do want to, like, I can see myself like as a director for real. Like, I want to get this going. So I got to start with my local community. So if, you are interested in maybe having a little spot in a chapter, hello, hit me up.
Oh my gosh, exciting. And I'm so honored, blessed, privileged to have you here. No, I'm excited. And then I'm definitely willing, whenever you want promo, after a few chapters, if you want to come back on, update us.
Okay.
I would love that. And it's been for sure. Yeah, me too. And it's been for sure a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
Y'all, I'm with Monique, aka Scalding Black Tea, Black BLK, Instagram, TikTok. Hit her up, follow, share.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.